Welcome to the Good, the Scaz, and the Rugby with our good friends at Vodafone. Welcome to Season 4, the return of the scrunchie. This is not a scrunchie now, I know. I'm wearing my red ribbon in my hair. But we are coming to you from all kinds of interesting places on this very special first episode of the new season. I am in Lyon, and if you hear people shouting in French in the background, then you will believe me as well. I don't know why they never shout here, and now they're shouting. I'm in Lyon covering the Rugby World Cup. Scazzy's in Leicestershire. That does look like your study, correct?
Yes, I'm at home. Sunny old Leicestershire.
We are recording this in the past because Mo, right at this minute, is in Gloucestershire, but she's not going to be there for much longer. You are listening to it when she's already departed Gloucestershire. There is so much to catch up on. The last time we were all together, we were in Teague's Bar in Gloucester.
That was very good.
With the circus.
Very good.
I didn't want to make it awkward for all the French people here. We're staring down the barrel of a brand new international tournament and a brand new Prem, and the Men's Rugby World Cup is nearing its crescendo, and none of that is even the biggest news on this podcast. We're going to talk about something pretty serious. Scazzy has emerged with some new neck decorations. You had a really big deal operation recently, and you have kept this so incredibly quiet. Can you tell us what happened and why?
Obviously I can't believe this is the biggest news, by the way. I don't believe that. But obviously I've been struggling with a neck injury for a while. So I injured it in January, which is the last time I played rugby. So quite a long time ago now, 8-9 months nearly. And obviously over that course of time, been trying to different things, waiting, little bits of rehab on it, trying to get different strength markers up, etc., and basically none of the above worked. So took the quite big decision for rugby to have an opportunity to play rugby again, but also I guess for potentially lifestyle and life after rugby reasons as well to have the operation. So I had that 2 weeks ago. Everything went well. Obviously it was a huge decision because the potential ramifications if things didn't go well are more serious when you're operating on your neck, but things all went well hopefully, and then now we can start the rehab train. So it's been a long time. It's not been the easiest of 8 months, but hopefully we can push on a bit now.
You've kept this so incredibly low key, and we've only spoken about it every now and again, but it's obviously been a big decision. Tell me about the surgery. Could you explain it to me like I'm a 5-year-old? What did they have to do again? Because I know that at one point, the reason why there was so much work that went into this before you went the surgical route is because it is very invasive, right?
Yeah, exactly. So this scar on the front of my neck is obviously where they go in, which I didn't realise I hadn't told my mum that, but when I obviously sent her a picture post-surgery, the classic selfie, obviously I had dressings all here. She was like, oh my God, they went in the front. She was like, I just assumed they'd go in the back. Obviously, kind of makes sense, doesn't it? But yeah, so they go in the front. They basically move all your kind of windpipe and everything out of the way to be able to get to obviously where they need to be. And I basically had a disc replacement. So that basically means they take out a disc because that was my issue. My disc wasn't playing ball. It was causing me issues. And they put a false one in, an artificial one in, which is honestly, when you understand the size of these things, apparently this disc is 14 mil big, which is like it's tiny. I assume it was almost like the size of this scar. I assume it was massive, but it's just not. Medical stuff is bonkers. And as soon as like a couple of hours after I came round after the operation, I was walking to the toilet straight away. Like it's insane what you're able to do after, like you say, such a big surgery.
That is very impressive. What is the toughest part about the recovery period? Like, how serious is this rehab in comparison with other things that you've had to come back from where you've had surgical intervention?
To be honest, I don't know yet. I think in many ways it will be easier because I'm up on my feet straight away. So obviously I was walking straight away. You think like back to my ankle and stuff, I was in cast for 6 weeks, not completely non-weight bearing for 6 weeks on crutches, which obviously just in terms of normal life, it makes it quite difficult. You're just hopping around everywhere. But yeah, it'll still be a long process back to, potentially playing rugby again. So I've still got to just put my head down and crack on with each bit. But that's it. I suppose the biggest thing is naturally having a bit of a sore neck for this period. That will obviously subside. And the worst thing was my sore throat, because they obviously move everything out the way. Although your throat's not been affected at all, it's been kind of nudged and bumped about a bit. So I had a sore throat, the worst sore throat I've ever had. It was like I had the worst cold ever, but that's
crazy.
I know. That went pretty quickly. So yeah. And my skin irritation. Oh my goodness. So I had
I can't believe you didn't say that first.
This is a huge overshare, but I obviously had a dressing while my clips were in, and I had a drain, which was somewhere here. So I had 2 dressings on my neck, and the dressings are like kind of almost like sticky cling film. So the main dressing, and then around it is like sticky cling film. And obviously your neck is quite a sensitive area, and they'll put loads of cleaning fluid on it and all sorts. So anyway, 2 days after the op, my neck was just insanely itchy. And obviously you can't really take your dressings off, risk of infection, all that sort of stuff. So I was basically just like scratching my way around my neck, and the only thing that would help it was ice. So I was putting like ice packs on. And anyway, 3 days later, I had this, obviously it was all red and whatnot anyway. And then I realised, I looked at it and I was like, I think I've given myself ice burns. And I had an ice burn all the way down my chin, all across my chest, because it was genuinely the only thing that would help soothe this itching feeling. But thankfully that's gone now. It's not scarred me, so.
Honestly, Alma, every time I rang Scaz, she had like a zip-up hoodie on, like nothing across her chest, and she was just like, it's so sore, it's so red. I was like, mate, is that the dye from the op, or what is that? She was like, no, it's the itching.
Honestly, I like to think I'm a reasonably tolerant person.
Yeah, this is this person I know who's had like a gruesome break, like, and photos to share for it. And this is the thing that has absolutely like driven you to the end of your ability to cope. So that's a really impressive effort by the cling film.
It was a joke. It was honestly a joke. It's making me itchy now.
Okay. So we need to talk about what I've been up to, because I've got a lot to show and tell. But it has been a wild ride in the black bus for the first time in my life.
It looks cool. Does it actually make coffee?
Well, I mean, there is a machine in it that does sometimes make a coffee. Have we made coffee in the van more than 3 times? Probably no.
Love that.
The other day, Andy Ellis decided, even though we didn't have permission for this, to do a barbecue, a little braai, on the square in the middle of Lyon. This genuinely also led to the production manager having her hair fall out because of the stress of Lyon chasing us out of the city because we're barbecuing on their square without permissions. But yeah, we just, popped some sausages on the barbie and handed them out to All Blacks fans, as you do. So Andy Ellis is being classic Andy Ellis. And then George has just been playing the guitar a lot. There has been a lot of singing, competitive singing. Restaurants in France are banning us now because of the amount of singing that we just do. Genuinely, we shouldn't be. Like, there is probably about 2 people who can hold a tune in the team, but that doesn't stop any of us, because we've been delivering a show every day for nearly 30 days. So any decorum has just completely left the building.
Imagine what you're going to get to. Who's your favourite All Black that you've had on that you surprised you?
Richie Mo'unga was singing ABCs to us.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, A, B, C, D. I mean, this is also one of our theme songs. Can you tell the singing?
Competitive singing sounds like a bit of me, to be fair. What is the atmosphere like out there? Because it looks insane.
It has been genuinely just so fun, because the French sing their anthem. So at every match that I've been at, the French anthem would make its way around the stadium, and then the singing obviously continues in the streets afterwards. Where we are here, we're a little further removed from things in Lyon, but Toulouse, guys, I've never done the sevens in Toulouse. Why has no one told me about Toulouse? I feel like someone should have said this long ago. It's amazing.
That's where we did basically relived a uni tour a couple of years ago. It was a lot of fun.
It's just stunning. But also lots of singing there. Their fan zone has 2 stages. It's like Tomorrowland. It's crazy.
In other news, talking about you being a serious worker bee, can we discuss the fact that your Flipping Lions documentary is nominated for an Emmy? What the actual? What the hell?
Yes, Alma.
I don't know. I genuinely, when
She's
Gareth
frozen. There's
Oh,
that
she's
much
frozen.
was
She's like
there.
excited.
It's too much. It's too much
It's
for
too
me.
much.
My
Even the
camera
internet
open.
can't cope out there in Leon.
Yeah, even the internet's like, what? I was actually in touch with a few people who worked on the project, but like from the tour side and stuff as well over the last few days. And I said to my mom yesterday, I genuinely think the only reason we won is because now when people watch that documentary, they go, they did what? This is crazy. It is objectively crazy. We were just the lucky people who were holding the cameras, capturing the crazy that was that tour. And I know that a lot of people haven't seen it, so you don't know the level of crazy that happened. But if you had any experience of the Lions tour from a distance and you saw the Yaku Yuan and Rasi tweeting and any of the riots in South Africa made it onto your timeline, then you'll know there was a lot that went on. The only thing that I'm really sad about is that not enough people has had the opportunity to watch it. So I hope that off the back of this, we'll maybe get more distribution. So if you are listening to this going, well, we haven't seen it, so why do we care? Maybe just ask your local streaming provider, whoever they are, or channel on any social media platform of your choosing, like, can we please see it? Otherwise, I might just have to like host a screening at my house. But now when I watch it back, well, I haven't had the capacity to watch it more than once. But when I spoke to my mom about it, my parents watched it back again this week, and my mom said it's genuinely just one of those, I can't believe people did this. So I feel like the Emmy is a compliment to that effort and the power of the human spirit, more than anything else. And that's my
Yeah, I was going to say, if you don't get your speech, that's it right there.
I'm not going to the Emmys, so we can just send them this recording. Thank you very much. But our Mo is back in an England shirt, so can we quickly just chat about that? Is the thing that has made my heart sing more than anything else, including whatever the Springboks are doing. How do you feel about being back in an England shirt and packed for New Zealand? 2 games against Canada back to back. You are having the best 2023, aren't you?
Yeah, it's been pretty good. No, it has been pretty good. Like I'm buzzing to be back in the environment, to be fair. Obviously when coaches change and stuff, everyone knows the story of last year. We don't need to bang on about it again, but when those coaches change and I'm kicking on a bit, like my mate old Scaz down there.
Kicking on or knocking on?
Same thing, isn't it? Here we go again. Season 4, Moisms.
I would love to be kicking on.
To
me, kicking on is like, yeah, here we go. We're right. We're getting amongst it. Kicking on, knocking on is like, yeah, you're getting old. Same, but it just made me laugh.
Maybe we could merge the two because I feel like we're doing both. Anyway,
I think we should kick on as we knock on.
You just haven't got it in you to do it, mate. I'm sorry. It's the way you deliver it. But yeah, you just never know. You never know if you're going to get back in the mix or if they want you or if you're too old and all that sort of stuff. So to be back there and giving it a shot is everything. And yeah, super excited. Just need my mate to come back now.
How cool was, obviously, I think it was last weekend when I know you benched obviously the first game, but now with the names on the back of shirts to see Hunt 9, like I think stuff like that's super cool. Like just the picture of it, receiving it for the first time, like stuff like that must be amazing.
Yeah, very special. So obviously I had that Ireland last year. That was my first game back after World Cup. But the game itself was just scrappy, like didn't really go to plan, and I was still playing through so much fear, I think. So to actually have it and to just be in this era where they want us to play, they want us to go out, we chip and chase all the time, like little things like that we've just never done in an England camp for my whole career.
Don't give away the game plan, though.
No, you got to defend it. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, like it's just super cool to be able to, and I'm still not there. Like I'm definitely not the Mo for when I play for Gloucester when I'm in an England shirt at the moment. But I feel like it's coming, and I feel like hopefully over time I'll be able to just have that confidence and throw the ball around and be back to me. So yeah, exciting.
Oh, so good. Like obviously I'm horrifically biased and obviously I'm watching all of the girls and supporting obviously everybody. But it's so nice to see her back out there, and obviously unsurprisingly we chat quite a lot throughout a week and before a game and whatnot, and just to kind of slowly see the change in, you know, how she feels about it, in terms of she's always loved playing the game, but just now hopefully being able to, she says, just go and play without, you know, thinking about all the other stuff. It's really cool. And as Mo says, it's not going to come straight away. And you've obviously, you know, playing for club is always different to playing for country, like irrelevant of what club or what country you play for, it always is, because naturally style's different, people are different, everything. So I just really looking forward to WXV, looking forward to the girls getting out there. Warm-up games are always really hard. First games of the season, like quite often not everything's perfect and it's a bit scrappy and whatnot. But WXV, I think it will be an amazing opportunity for everyone to show what they're about.
She said that we spoke a fair bit in the week, and I actually FaceTimed her when I was on the pitch at Exeter. Like I do my pitch walk and I try and like get to know where where the wind's going and all that sort of stuff. But normally, like for the last however many times I've played, Scaz is either there or she's in the commentary box. So you get to see her, you get to give her a big hug and say hello. And then obviously Scazzy had her operation on the Thursday, so wasn't actually there on the weekend. So I was like, just want a little settler, but she was snoozing in the car on the way home, which is even better.
And you looked so sharp, not just the game, the hair. Can we talk about all of those plaits? Who was it? Was it Sarah Byrne who had she had multiple, there was just a lot of plaits flying and people had and Meg's hair was plaited up and sides. And you've got pros in now. You guys you've gone fully pro with the hair plaiting process?
I would love to say yes. I think unfortunately it was a one-off occasion, but basically because for that game, Amy Cocaine was meant to start, Connie was on the bench, and our only platter in the squad is Lark Davis at the minute. Like there's a couple of secret platters, but I'm not even going to name them on the podcast because the reason they're secret is because they don't like that. They don't like to have to deal with it before match. They want to get in their own headspace, which is completely fair enough. So yeah, Larky wasn't meant to be in the squad, so there was this panic on how we actually get our hair sorted, because it's a strange game, isn't it? Like you're flying into tackles left, right, and centre. Like you have to have your hair out of the way because otherwise it just goes everywhere. So yeah, the girls came in and it was so funny. I walked into breakfast. There's like 4 chairs lined up and loads of people in there. Everyone else is on Pinterest trying to work out their hairstyles. It was hilarious because I was just like, girls, we're going to come out and we're going to look absolutely ridiculous. Like we're all going to have wedding hair. It's not going to be the one. Yeah. But as it turned out, everyone looked banging. Like the girls, the platters were incredible. I think Braid Maidens was their name. And we actually had I say social, it's not really a social, but they came in on Thursday and basically taught us all how to plait so that hopefully more people can start to plait and braid to take the burden off of that, because I don't think England Rugby are going to pay for us to have that every time. But yeah, I loved it. Zoe Allcroft was the genius behind my new 2 plaits. She says my wispy bits really annoy her, so she was like, "Can you just get it all plaited?" And I was really... Yeah, I was really against it, but I actually enjoyed it. And all the girls, I don't know if they were winding me up or not, but they were like, "It's taken years off you." And that's the compliment that everyone wants to hear to keep going. So, yeah.
And let's talk about the serious rugby stuff just for a minute. Less structure, was that just because it was a kind of a friendly in preparation for WXV? Talk to me about all of the, as you guys say, jouer. Is this the coaching change? Are you just allowed to express yourself a bit more? This obviously is very Mo Hunt, so we love it.
Yeah, it's a way that I want to play. It's not more jouer, it's just actually get your head up and look at opportunities. So I think previously we've had plans where it's been like, if we're in our own half, we don't really want to play with the ball in our own half. So there was a lot of kicking, a lot of long kicking, kicking battles, that sort of thing. I think we probably kick more now, but it's more of that variation of our kick. So we're going high to compete. There's little chips, there's little grubbers to try and get the ball back. So I think one of the tries in the first games down in Exeter was a little grubber through, Rosie Gallagher collects, and then Helena Rowland goes in off the back of it. And it's just like encouraging us to get our heads up, to take opportunities when they're on, not to go through with a plan, because that's where we are on the pitch, which is really cool. And for me, that's the way rugby should be played. It's the way we play at Gloucester. Obviously you've got structure and you've got detail around it and how you get to that place, but ultimately if you've got a one-on-one opportunity and you know someone can take them on, or if you've got space on the wing, like let's go and attack it and have a crack at people before we look to go to the air and just play a safe game, I guess. So yeah, I'm really enjoying it. Like, training's probably been better than the performances we've put out, just because the heat that Canada put on us, I personally wasn't expecting that. Like, I found it really difficult at the breakdown. But it's a real good learn. Like, we've done some really good homework off the back of it. And if we come up against that again, like, I'm really excited to take that on with what we've kind of done and the detail we've done around it now. So yeah, it's cool, it's exciting. And like, everyone has the backing of the coaches, and we're kind of all in it together. And like, Suns has been a godsend as well. She's been awesome in terms of that link between players and coaches, and everyone's saying it's not just me, because I bloody love her. She's been class. The detail that she's brought, and she gets the player side of it, so you kind of got that real nice mix of everything at the moment. And yeah, it's really fun. It's good crack.
What is the thing that she's had to change? Because obviously she knows her way around, but now she's in a different role. Has she had to step back from anything? Has she had to change her approach on anything?
I think she's always been ridiculously diligent. So she's the person that would be stretching more than anyone, do her rehab more than anyone, all that sort of stuff. But now she is next level on her laptop. You just see her on her laptop all the time. Like, she's analysing. Yeah. Like, the detail that she's bringing to stuff. Sports code, she's got things flying up. It's pausing. She's got people highlighted, like all this sort of stuff. So I know Scaz has had her as a coach at Loughborough, so she might have been similar there. But no, she's been awesome. I've really enjoyed having her in that role. And I think just like Deke seems really relaxed. Like, Lou's been awesome. I've really enjoyed her input and what she's brought to the table, and how she's like running our attack and stuff like that. So yeah, overall it's just a really enjoyable environment. Like, on pitch it's been class, and we're really going at each other at the moment, and just hoping that it'll click for a game, because I don't think you've seen what we've been trying to do. Like, obviously we won ugly last Saturday. It wasn't a great game. All of us were frustrated off the back of it because of our training and how good our training's been. So I'm just hoping that as we build through this tournament, it'll be super exciting, and you'll be able to see actually how we're trying to play and what that looks like.
Now, for the first time ever, we have got a unified 15s calendar, and a project that basically encapsulates everyone's performance, and every match counts. And it's all very exciting because it leads somewhere, and it creates a pathway for promotion, and it raises the value and the competitiveness of the women's game around the world. Some of the games are going to mean some very early alarms if you are in generally the UK or European time zone. But I mean, we had some practice last year. Let's run through the whole thing. In case you're new around here and you're going, what is WXV? 3 tiers. Qualification took place earlier this year in the form of the Six Nations, obviously in the UK and Europe. In other parts of the world, there have been a variety of regional tournaments to set up qualification. Tier 1 has the top 3 teams from the Six Nations, England, France, and Wales, the top 3 teams from Pac 4, which is the Pacific 4 tournament that is played every year between New Zealand, Canada, Australia, and the USA. And they qualified for WXV1, everyone except the USA. And they're playing in New Zealand, Dunedin, Wellington, and Auckland. How are you feeling about going to New Zealand, Mo? Because you weren't there the first time around. What is the advice and the heads up? There are a few girls who are going out to New Zealand who were not there last year, right?
Yeah, so like myself, Beckett, Amber Reid, all heading out for the first time. We're just excited, to be honest. Like, I'm excited. Obviously, other people have got different emotions going out there again. But to be honest, you know what they say about falling off a horse, it's best to get straight back on it and get out there and play again. So I think it'll be really good for us. It's fresh, it's new. Obviously similar things in terms of like where they're going and that. But yeah, to be honest, I don't even know where you guys played in the World Cup. I was that detached from the whole thing. So I don't even know if we're going to the same cities. Like that's literally how little I know about the whole thing. So yeah.
Definitely going to different cities in Wellington and Dunedin, which I think will be cool, because we spent obviously pretty much the entire time in Auckland and Whangarei a little bit, but going down there I think will be cool, because no one will have been there before. I don't think we've even been there on previous tours, so you'll all be exploring new cities together, which I think is always like a cool thing.
We've been to Wellington. Remember the chef, Saucy? That was Wellington.
No, it
Do you
wasn't, you
remember?
donut.
In that hotel.
That was Auckland.
It was.
No, you're
Oh,
lying.
Stand corrected.
It was the Pullman,
All right,
because we went back to the Pullman at the World Cup, and she wasn't there. But then we went on to a different hotel. She was then the chef at a different hotel. Yeah, so we met up with her.
You saw her.
Saw her, Saucy.
Who is Saucy, and why is that her name?
No, that's her
I
name.
think that's genuinely her name, yeah. It's really appropriate for a chef. But she was the most incredible chef, and like she'd make you anything you wanted, like French toast, banging, pancakes, anything like that. And we were on tour. It was like a 3-week tour, wasn't it? And this was the last week, and everyone was a bit done and wanted to go home. And food is mood, and she just made the tour, and we all absolutely loved her. If you saw her again.
Yeah,
that's class.
I got injured towards the end of that tour, so I was in a boot, so I wasn't training, and I literally put on 2 kilograms in that last hotel, because she was just feeding us, and I was like, yeah, I'm here for it. A bit sad.
Danger. Someone keep an eye out for Saucy. That's one of 2 very big additions during this trip to New Zealand. The other relatively large addition is a former All Blacks coach. He's been out here at the Rugby World Cup with Japan as their defence coach, and he was appointed as the Red Roses' new head coach a few months ago. But it's been this awkward arranged marriage where, like, there hasn't actually been. Well, has there been much contact yet, or will you meet the groom in New Zealand?
So we had him in our first camp in Chester. He was like, I don't know if you've seen the Mighty Boosh, but he was literally the man in the moon. He was just like chatting away for some of our values and everything. But no, it's exciting. I think it's going to shake it up a bit. I think some of the girls are a little bit nervous that the like really comfortable, like nice atmosphere at the moment might change. Naturally, it probably will a little bit, but I think it's super exciting to have a real fresh pair of eyes in at the top, and just to see where he can take this team, because I've only heard really good things about him. I know Sunta's been chatting to him quite a bit because she's running the defence at the moment, and he's obviously across the defence, so they're in quite a lot of contact. So he really cares about what we're doing, even though he's got so much going on himself. He's really invested, and I think he's quite excited to get out there. So yeah, we should see.
Congrats, Mitch, and I'm really excited to see the impact he'll have, because I worked with him as a pundit, but just genuinely respect the guy so much, and had only brilliant experiences in dealing with him, and I think is just so passionate about the game and about the people who play it. WXV2, speaking of things that happened in South Africa, there's been some warm-up games. The South African girls played the Barbars, which makes my heart sing, because I just love seeing teams like South Africa, who genuinely in the past 10 years have had so little game time, be given opportunities like this to play the Barbars, and also for the Barbars to just go out and experience Cape Town. And now the Scottish girls are en route there, and the Italian girls are en route there, and Samoa is there, and Japan is there, and then the 4th place team from Pac 4 USA. So WXV2 is being hosted in Cape Town and Stellenbosch. It's a tier that is really exciting, because these are the teams that don't play usually all that much, and they definitely don't play one another all that much. It's going to be hard to call and predict, because like Italy and South Africa has had so much more development in the last 12 months than they had probably in the 5 years before that. So they've all probably come on and grown in really interesting areas. The bottom ranked team here also will be relegated. So there is so much to play for, even though there isn't promotion from WXV2 to 1 for the first 2 years. So nothing in WXV1 in terms of the lineup of teams in there will shift. But in WXV2, you do not want to be the lowest ranked team, because then you drop ahead of next year's WXV tournament. What are you most excited about learning from the lineups that will be represented here, Scaz?
What a good question. Obviously, being half Scottish, not legitimately, but just through my passion for Scotland, I'm obviously really looking forward to seeing how they go. And I think you're right, like, the whole point of this competition is so that everybody gets more genuinely competitive game time against, similarly matched nations. And I think arguably this tier could be the most competitive. Like, genuinely, I think it's probably one of the toughest to call in terms of, you look at some of the teams in there, and you probably think they're all going there thinking they're in a shout with winning this competition, which I think is really cool. So yeah, I know the Scottish girls are really excited. Obviously, they had a really good win against Spain in one of their warm-up games. So yeah, I think it's going to be really good. Genuinely really tight to call. That first Scotland-South Africa fixture, I think, will be meaty. And then I don't know about you guys, but I'm really looking forward to South Africa's Samoa is in the last round. Like, from a physical point of view, oh my goodness, that could be crazy.
And a lot of those Samoan girls play domestic rugby in New Zealand. And this is a real opportunity for those girls to play under their flag and for their country and sing their anthem. And do you know what? All of the conversations I've had with people, my mom grilled me about this the other day for like 40 minutes. Like, I hardly speak to my family. And then when I do get them on the phone, my mom wants to know what's being done to give Namibia more game time. We had this very long unpacking of why Namibia needs more game time. And I said, well, this is what the women's game is getting right. The women's game is giving Samoa and Japan and South Africa and the USA game time against teams like Scotland and Italy who get to play in the Six Nations. And this is how you raise the standard between two World Cups. This is how you get those teams more competitive.
100%. I think also, speaking to Rona the other day, she was saying that she's really excited to have consistent competitive fixtures for the whole time, because obviously you play Six Nations and she was mentioning that England and France, they're a little bit off that at the moment. So to have a run of games where they're together on tour and being able to play back to back and go after teams like that, it'll be really good for everyone involved. So yeah, almost Scaz, I think it's going to be really cool, and that game is going to be meaty.
The teams who will be watching WXV2 the closest, because all of them are looking at promotion as an opportunity, will be playing WXV3, and that will be hosted in Dubai, Spain, Ireland, Kazakhstan, Fiji, Kenya, and Colombia. The winner here promotes to WXV2. The loser of WXV2 comes down to 3 next year, and there will be a playoff for last place in 2024. Now, this is the pathway. At least the 6 top-ranked non-qualified teams qualifies for the Rugby World Cup. So this isn't just an inter-tier promotion relegation route. There's also a route into Rugby World Cup qualification, which is what makes this really interesting for teams like Kazakhstan, who played in the final qualifier tournament ahead of Rugby World Cup 2021, but didn't get through. Colombia and Kazakhstan, we've done some work with them, and they both have such deeply passionate and amazingly physical girls. I think the women's team in the game that people should be speaking about more probably is Kazakhstan, only because they've had so much support locally, and they have been a very well-run unit for a while. They just need more game time, which is what WXV3 definitely will give them. Let's talk about playing in Dubai, though, because that's a very different proposition to going to Cape Town in October or to going to New Zealand in October.
I just Googled the weather as we started to talk about it. Can you see this? It's 40 degrees.
Yeah. I'm a little bit worried about the Irish girls, I'm not going to lie.
What have they been saying? You know a bunch of them. Gloucester girls, what are they saying?
No, they've been doing heat training and all the sort of stuff. We used to do it for sevens, but they've been in saunas, trying to get a little bit acclimatized. But there's nothing that prepares you for heat like it. And we used to go and only play 14 minutes. So to play an 80-minute match against arguably teams that are going to be a lot more comfortable in the heat, I think that'll be a real challenge for them. I think they'll be fine, and I really hope that they come out on top of that tournament and they get that promotion. But yeah, I think that heat element could play a massive factor in that. I know that they've got some ice vests and stuff. Sam was saying the other day that they managed to train, and then they had these ice vests to trial. And I was like, oh, how did it go? And she was like, well, I didn't get to trial them because there were only smalls left. They'd packed all the mediums and larges. So they hadn't tried them yet. But yeah, I think they're trying to implement as much as they can. But that heat, honestly, I don't know how that's going to fare for them.
Oh, it's going to be brutal. But you look at that group and you look at the nations and whatnot, and you kind of look at Ireland, new coaching staff, etc., as a bit of a, they will be looking to top that group and get promoted back to WXV2.
Similarly, that last game, Ireland against Spain, I think that's going to be massive. So a big meaty one to end the tour on.
I definitely need to get a Fijiana shirt because I loved how they brought it against South Africa at the Rugby World Cup last year. And things have been moving and building on their side of the world. And this is, I think, such a great opportunity for them to come out and play against all these sides. So if someone has a connect, just give a girl a word. And the Fiji men haven't been doing badly either. So there's that, of course, that's also relevant. Maybe I'll just get one of their shirts out here. Now, if you are wondering when the Red Roses and Mo and her friends will be in action and what time it is where you are, they play Australia on Friday, the 20th of October at 7 a.m. in Wellington, and then Canada again on Friday, the 27th of October at 7 a.m. in Dunedin, and then New Zealand replay of the final on Saturday, the 4th of November at 6 a.m. Not at Eden Park this time, at Mount Smart, but it's all in the same place, basically. So if you like live shows, hint, hint, we like live shows too. Keep your eyes on the socials. Fastest fingers, because we might be doing something very fun and it will require you getting up early, just heads up. Yay! Woo! And now, sorry, other things on the agenda. I have a very long clipboard, you just can't see it. We need to explain that we are back, but during WXV Scazzy, and I will be here every Thursday to hang out with you. And we'll put on a little pop-up shop show, a smaller one, bringing you just updates, guests, stories. And we're talking about all 3 tiers of the tournament. We're not skipping out on South Africa or Dubai. We want to hear about those ice vests, even if it just is rumors and they're unconfirmed. And then once that's done and dusted and Mo's back in the kingdom, then we'll be back for the start of the PWR. Back in the studio and back on air, back in action the whole year. And then it'll be back to normal programming.
Sorry, did you see Scazzy's jazz hands then? Stop that immediately.
We're definitely going to have to make a gift.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the dangers of doing silly things online. Sugar.
We'll have it and file it and keep using it for the next 3 years. What are we doing more of this season, Scaz? Have you got any plans for us while you're recovering from your neck?
Hopefully we're just going to do more of the good stuff we've been doing, chatting to some amazing people, telling their stories, learning new things about different nations, different comps, obviously getting around some of the PWR stuff, different clubs, couple of new clubs in the mix, and obviously some that we perhaps haven't learnt too much about along the way. So yeah, hopefully loads of exciting stuff. And as like just having a bit more fun, really, creating a bit of carnage, hopefully.
And important for us to also give a shout out to the fact that the Olympics will be on the menu by the end of this rugby season. So the Sevens girls prepping for that. There's obviously huge Six Nations news. Principality Stadium, Super Saturday, Wales against Italy. Yes, I will be going out and taking my Wales bucket hat with me. Really excited about that. Huge Prem season. Quins need to get back in the mix. 2 new teams, as Scazzy said, Trailfinders and Leicester Tigers. Who's got their shirts? Send us your pictures. Speaking of things people should send us, guys, Sally Snowden on Instagram.
I like her name.
Sally sent me a message and said, "I'm so sorry. I don't know you. But I saw this. And all I could think of was GSR, and you and the Post." And she sent me a video of a man, I'm going to send it to you, who posted a slice of cheese. You can post a slice of cheese in the UK and it will get back to you within 2 days. And then he had it on a sandwich.
Wait, sorry, he posted it to himself?
Why did he do that? What on earth?
That is how reliable the postal service is. Look at that.
Wait, so it's not even wrapped? It's just on the there's a stamp on a piece of cheese.
He slapped a stamp on a slice of cheese, one slice, a single slice of cheese, and the postal service delivered it back to him. He popped it in one of those beautiful red post boxes in England. I do love them so much. And he put it on his toast and he ate it.
Is this what TikTok's for? Because I think I'm missing the boat on it.
Sally Snowden and I, we're in the same group, guys. And you are welcome to join and get on board.
I'm just more baffled that somebody thought, I know what I'd like to do. Post a slice of cheese.
Test the system.
Do you know what?
Producer Shira, people care. People care about the post.
People care about the post. It's not just me, okay?
Oh, Sally, what a girl.
Too good.
I love you, Sally. Thank you. Thank you, Sally. Thank you, Mo. Thank you, Scaz, so that I wasn't just sitting here talking to myself. And thank you to you for listening or for watching or for commenting and sending me things that delight me and entertain me. And we are so happy to be back for season 4. Vodafone, thank you so much for coming back for round 2 too. We love the community. We just love having all of our friends here. And we can't wait to see what this season has in store for us. I don't know if I'm going to be rocking the post-box dress again, but maybe at the live show, who knows? And Mo, go make us proud. Everything packed already yet?
Not even started. The wash has been done and that's about it.
But the eyebrows are on point, so the rest doesn't matter.
There we are.
There we go. Safe travels to our Mo. Scazzy, keep sending us updates and go lightly on the ice, eh?
Lesson learned.
We've been the Good Scaz Rugby in partnership with Vodafone. The Good Scaz Rugby is a folding pocket production produced by Shira Kilgallen.